How's it going, guys? I'm here to review The Suicide Squad 2021.
You gotta be kidding me. You're gonna risk the entire mission for a mental defective dressed as a court jester.
This coming from a guy that wears a toilet seat on his head.
We don't leave one of our own behind.
Hopefully Harley's still alive.
No funny business, Colonel. These are dangerous people.
Team 2 is clear to go.
Fire on. 3, 2.
The Suicide Squad is the latest film in the DC Cinematic Universe, or the DC Extended Universe. This is directed by James Gunn. He directed the Guardians of the Galaxy in the horror movie Slither. Margot Robbie is back as Harley Quinn. As always, she's pretty much one of the strongest and best characters in this whole DC Extended Universe, in my opinion. The plot for this movie: Amanda Waller, which is played by Viola Davis, once again stars in this movie. She sends Task Force X, which is the Suicide Squad. She sends the team to go to South America because the South America its government has been overtaken by an anti-American regime, pretty much. So, and not only just that, she wants them to discover what they're planning, which is also known as Operation Starfish, because they have something extraterrestrial that they're experimenting on. She wants them to pretty much destroy it before it gets out of hand. So the Task Force X includes King Shark, Polka Dot Man, Ratcatcher, Bloodsport, Harley Quinn, Rick Flag, Captain Boomerang, and pretty much all these other numerous characters that I've never heard of in my life. But it's kind of a good thing, because I like when James Gunn bring all these other extra weird characters from like colorful, psychedelic, old school like comics, or just any other comics, like characters that we haven't known or that we don't know, and then just bringing it onto screen. So I like that, just bringing new characters that we haven't seen before, pretty much. And Weasel is actually one of the weirdest characters that that actually made me kind of laugh but cringe at the same time, because I was just so thrown off by that character. Of course, we all know this from the trailer, from our predictions. This is pretty much the only spoiler I'll let you guys know, is that Operation Starfish is basically Starro. And Starro is basically like an extraterrestrial, like supervillain alien that likes to invade planets, that likes to invade worlds, because Starro is like a giant starfish that like shoots out little starfishes, and the starfishes like attaches to like the population's face, kind of like a face hugger from those alien movies. And I guess the people that have that starfish on their faces talks from it, or like basically that's how it communicates through the person, I guess.
You know the deal. Successfully complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence. You fail to follow my orders in any way, and I detonate the explosive device in the base of your...
What did I think about this movie? This movie is actually one of the best DC movies, like hands down, ever made. This movie is beautiful. Like, it's beautiful to watch. The color, the visuals, the cinematography, the choreograph, it's all good, man. The soundtrack's good. The characters are like well written. The characters are memorable. Like, all the characters are just so good. Like, there's a lot of funny moments in this movie. There's a lot of bloody, dark moments in this movie. There's a lot of good action sequences and memorable sequences. Like, even the villain, Starfish or Starro, is even memorable, unlike Enchantress, no offense. But yeah, I think we all can agree. Let's pretend that last Suicide Squad didn't happen, because that movie, don't get me wrong, it's not like the worst superhero movie I've seen, but it's certainly not one of the greatest superhero movies I've seen. The 2016 version is just mediocre. You can tell that Warner Brothers, or pretty much Hollywood's, not letting filmmakers achieve their full potential with their vision, pretty much. Like, they're not letting them use their full vision for their films. So, and it's good that James Gunn had total control of his vision in this movie, which is really, really amazing. John Cena's in this movie. He's Peacemaker, and I guess apparently later on next year, January 2022, he's going to get his own HBO Max series. It's a spin-off series out of this movie, so I guess his own Peacemaker series is supposed to take place after this movie. So, and Idris Elba's Bloodsport, his character kind of reminds me of Deadshot, like especially how he has a daughter and the daughter wants him to be a good father, wants to be a better person, and it's just this whole father and daughter relationship. It totally reminded me of Will Smith's Deadshot character from the last Suicide Squad movie, so there were some similarities there. Amanda Waller, she's even more ruthless and savage in this movie, which is really cool. And then, of course, James Gunn, he had to bring all his other original cast members, such as like Michael Rooker. He was from Guardians of the Galaxy. His brother, I think his brother Sean Gunn, I think that was his name, but his brother, yeah, from the Guardians of the Galaxy movie too.
This is the famous Suicide Squad.
Num num.
Any questions?
And
Yes, that is your hand.
I love how this movie gave no fucks whatsoever. This movie goes like full on gore, blood, violence. This movie is rated R. Nudity, sex, language, drinking. Oh my god, you name it. Like all of the rated R materials in this movie, which is really cool, especially for a comedic, like colorful, wacky comic book movie, which is really cool. You can tell James Gunn didn't take himself too seriously in this movie. He was just having fun making this movie, which is really good. Yeah, man, Polka Dot Man too, man, he's pretty funny. So all these characters are just memorable, funny, especially King Shark. King Shark's one of my favorite characters in this movie. He kind of reminds me of Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. There was some similarities there. So if you guys haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend this DC movie. Even if you guys don't like superhero or comic book movies, this movie is certainly fun to watch. It's currently playing in theaters right now, and it's on HBO Max. If you guys are subscribed to HBO Max, I highly recommend watching this movie. Yes, if you guys have short attention span or whatever, this movie's 2 hours and 12 minutes. I'm telling you, it's worth the watch. Please check this movie out. Like, this movie gets you hooked from beginning to end. This movie has one of the craziest and most wildest opening sequence like ever, and I'm not gonna spoil you how it starts. I'm just not gonna say anything, but I'll just say the opening is crazy, the middle of the movie is crazy, the whole ending of the movie, it's like it's the edge of your seat, man. That's how like it gets you hooked from start to finish. This movie is good.
You die.
If we find out any information you give us is false, you die.
If we find out you have personalized license plates, you die.
What? No.
If you cough without covering your mouth.
Hardly. Although that isn't an open invitation for you to cough without covering your mouth.
What's the plan?
What the hell must
I'm just glad DC finally made another good movie, because DC's movie so far has been hit. It's either been a hit or a miss, and I can tell DC's been doing better with rated R movies such as Joker, Birds of Prey, well, at least 50-50 on that, and Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League was rated R. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, 3-hour Ultimate Cut was rated R, and now this movie, The Suicide Squad, rated R. All these rated R DC movies are actually performing well over some of the PG-13 movies. I think the only good PG-13 movies when it comes to DC is probably Wonder Woman, Shazam, and Aquaman. But the rest, I can tell people don't really like. And this is how you make a comic accurate Suicide Squad movie. You can tell James Gunn, he done his research, he read the comics, he pulled out, he pretty much bring these characters that we've never heard of, he brought them to life in this big screen, which is really cool. So you can tell he read his lore, his comics, he knows his stuff. So this movie is really good. If I had to give this movie out of 10, I would give this movie a 9 out of 10. It's pretty much one of the best comic book movies that I've ever seen, one of the best DC movies I've ever seen, so yeah. So this was my quick review of The Suicide Squad 2021. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm going to start reviewing some more horror movies. Halloween is coming up soon.
Why would someone put penises all over the beach?
Who knows why madmen do what they do?
This is suicide.
Well, that's kind of our thing.
can't get you out of here alive.
I'm going to get you out of here alive.
Oh my god, we've got a freaking kaiju up in this shit!
We love the rain. It's like angels are splooching all over us.